Welcome back. In this unit, you'll learn 3 more notes, eighth note rhythms, and 2 more time signatures. We'll continue to follow the same procedure in which you learn symbols in the theoretical section and then sight read them in the practical section under the heading Let's Play. So we'll start with 3 new notes. The note E is in the top space of the staff. It's played as the first string open, like this. G is on the second line of the staff, and it's played as the third string open, like this. A is on the second ledger line. To remember the pitch A, remember 2 diagonal lines that touch at the top and run tangentially along the note head. Notice how it makes an uppercase A. It's played as the 5th string open, like this. Now let's shift our focus to the 8th note rhythm. It sustains for half a beat, and it can be written with either a beam or a flag. When 8th notes are grouped, each note consists of a note head that is filled in, a stem, and a beam that connects the 8th notes. When 8th notes are not grouped, each note contains a flag instead of a beam. The 8th rest creates silence for half a beat. It consists of a diagonal line with a small flag. So how do we count 8th note rhythms? The first half of the beat receives a number that represents the beat's placement in the measure, and the second half of the beat receives the word and, represented by the ampersand. For this example, the rhythm is counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Whenever music contains 8th note rhythms, I do suggest you count with the and throughout the entire piece, even when you encounter quarter, half, and whole note rhythms. This will help you maintain a steady beat. So at this point, I need to stress upon something very critical. To play rhythms correctly, you must always maintain a steady count. Again, like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Not like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Some beginning sight readers have a really hard time holding a steady count, and it's normal to be overwhelmed while processing so much information. It's worth training yourself to maintain a steady count by establishing priorities. In other words, choose to make steady counting more important than any other aspect of sight reading. The good news is that once this skill is developed, it becomes and remains relatively easy. Let's finish this unit's theoretical section by learning about 2 new time signatures. The 2/4 time signature consists of 2 quarter notes per measure. When measures contain 2 beat groupings, we refer to the music as being in duple meter. It's important to allow yourself to feel the groupings of 2s and accent accordingly, like this: 1, 2, 1, 2. The 3/4 time signature consists of 3 quarter notes per measure, and when measures contain 3 beat groupings, we refer to the music as being in triple meter. It's important, again, to allow yourself to feel the groupings of 3s and accent accordingly, like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you probably remember that the 4/4 time signature you learned in Unit 1 contains 4 notes per measure. This is considered quadruple meter, and it creates this feel: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Before you jump to the Let's Play section, I'd like to discuss the importance of the count-in. The count-in establishes the meter and speed of the piece you're about to play. Use the count-in to absorb the feel of the piece before it even starts. This will help you more easily transition into keep going playing. If the piece is in duple meter and slow, for example, the count-in will go like this: 1, 2. But if it's in quadruple meter and fast, it'll go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll conclude Unit 2 with 2 sight reading tips. The first is about rhythmic feel. A recent study suggests that sight reading improves when musicians focus on the feel of the meter rather than the individual beats. I'll demonstrate the difference. When I focus on the feel of triple meter, it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But when I focus on each beat in triple meter, it sounds more like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Did you notice how the first example was more flowing and possibly elegant, and the second was a little more heavy and clunky? When we play with the feel of the meter, we create a hierarchy of pulse that creates more space in our minds and bodies, and we need this space in order to process information quickly. To play with the feel of the meter, start by emphasizing the first beat of each measure more than the others. If you want to learn more about time signatures and meter, there are plenty of open sources dedicated to this information, such as openmusictheory.com. The second tip is about pattern recognition. For the last few decades, music educators have studied a phenomenon called chunking. Chunking is when musicians visually perceive patterns rather than individual notes. And it turns out that skilled sight readers chunk. You all chunk when you read words. Most of you see the letters D-O-G and immediately say dog. This is an example of chunking. But remember what it was like when you had to sound out each individual letter? D-O-G. This is pre-chunking. The exercises under the heading Let's Play Patterns are designed to help you process individual notes into patterns. It's important to trust your instincts. I'd rather you attempt to play a pattern and make some mistakes than to not try at all. I've added these new tips to your checklist for sight reading, which now states, count the beats out loud, including the and. Keep going even if you make a mistake. Maintain your best playing posture. Look at the score, not your hands. Play with the feel of the meter. Play patterns instead of individual notes, also known as chunking. And of course, have fun. I'll see you in Unit 3. Bye-bye.